Alright, welcome back everyone. So in this video we are going to learn how to use the dev world. There's a whole bunch of advanced features that I didn't really get to go over to in my first video, so we're going to dive into that. But first we need to get to our Noita folder, so let's go there. This is for the Steam version, so if you have something different, I unfortunately cannot help, but let's go to our folder where we have everything. So like I said, Steam, then we're going to go to Steam Apps, Common, and I'm gonna hit N for Noita, open up Noita, and then here's our folder. So most likely your folder will have a lot less than mine. The reason mine has so much is because I wanted to unpack everything and see what all the files have. Thank you so much to Goki for showing me this. What we're going to do is open up Tools Modding, and I don't think you have to copy everything. You just have to use the data whack unpack. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't mess it up, so I just copied everything and put it in this folder. And when you run the data whack unpack, it will give you a data folder, and so you can put all those files somewhere. It will be in the normal Noita folder, where it's not this one, it's the NOLA like save files. So that's for your normal world, and that's what this one is right here. We're gonna be only messing with this one, and that's why we're in this folder. So this save is directly linked to the dev.exe. So when we open up this one, it's gonna do something like this. Okay, and if you did the oh my goodness. Okay, and if you did the whack data unpack properly, we're going to go into that folder. So this one's a little bit trickier to get to. So we're gonna hit Control O, and we're going to go to our computer, and we're gonna go to computer, we're going to go to C drive, we're going to go to users, owner, and the folder isn't showing up here. So what we can do is just type it in, which is \appdata, and then we're going to hit enter there. We're going to go to local low. And then in here, we're going to go to NOLA Games Noita. And this is where we'll find that data unpack. So you could just copy all these files and put them in a folder like I did. That's the easiest thing for me. Whatever is easiest for you. Everyone has their different way of doing it. But in here, we can go to like entities, go to items. Let's say we wanted to spawn in these, I don't know. Let's get the starting bomb wand. XML, and so it's going to spawn in the starting bomb wand, and it's extremely neat. It's extremely useful as well. And let's say you put something on here. Let's just say we want to throw a laser on here. Let's say we wanted to save this little laser bomb wand. We're going to hit Shift U. So once you hit Shift U, if you don't type anything in, it will remove that wand. So if you accidentally hit Shift U, just name it something dumb, so it'll save it, and then you can save it as that. I'm not going to save it, but once I hit cancel, this wand's going to be gone. So that's how you save wands and how you can like access them. And then before we get into like either going up or down, I'm going to show the whole thing behind how I make a lot of my testing areas, and it's extremely neat. So there's obviously the first thing. If you hit Control Tab, it'll pull up this menu. So I hit Tab one more time to get rid of the back so I can see. And you want to select something that isn't a wand for right now while you click on these. The best thing to do is just empty your inventory so that you can draw without having it mess up stuff. But let's say we want some flux. So we're going to select the flux. And then how you draw is with holding down control. So control right click will erase, and then control left click will drop some of the selected thing. If you hit control U, you can pause it and then you can draw stuff. And then when you hit control U again, it'll update. And so I don't want all this here. If you want a larger pen or a smaller one, you can hit shift 9, or you can hit shift 1 through 0. 0 is the largest, 1 is the smallest. And then it'll have a pen size like this. This is 9, and we're gonna erase just all this and then control U again to update. So this is extremely neat, and there's a whole bunch of materials. Like every single material that isn't even in the game, you can mess with and just like build with. My favorite is probably corruption. I actually think I zoomed past it. This one looks really neat in my opinion, so I use it, or I tend to use it a lot in my builds. But yeah, and the easiest way to curve off stuff is selecting a smaller pen size and then just erasing around it until you make it look smooth. So that's how you make it look like that if you're just trying to draw in Dev World. But you're not only limited to drawing in here. You can actually make your own stuff, and I hit T. So there is two options. To pull up this menu, I hit F1, and we're gonna scroll down. So there's T, load a pixel scene, clears scene react. I'm not entirely sure. I assume that clears everything around us. And then Shift T loads a pixel scene. So what does that mean? If I hit T right now, it'll open up the folder again, but I'm going to go back to the folder that I have everything in. So that's this, boop. We need to go to Steam Apps, Common, then hit Noita, and my random stuff. We're also going to go to Laboratory. Okay. So in here, I have just some stuff that I was working with. I have like an ice ring. Let's say I wanted to spawn this. So all the colors are, I think they're Wang colors, and I'll show how you can go tell what the different colors mean and all that stuff. But this is something I drew in just like Photoshop real quick. And if we spawn it in, everything in the black area is going to get erased, and everything that's the like teal color is going to be an ice ring. So that's how we spawn something in like that. And obviously we threw the coup. That's why I suggest you have your inventory empty so you don't mess stuff up. But let's say you accidentally hit T and you're like, oh no, just hit cancel. Or if you accidentally select the wrong thing, like let's say I accidentally selected my testing lab. If I spawn this here, it's going to delete a lot of stuff. So what we're going to do is hit T again and hit cancel so that we don't accidentally delete this entire area that we worked hard to make. But yeah, and you can edit with it and clean it up and make different stuff in here. But for the colors, so if we went back into this folder right here, like I said, it will be the data folder that you unpack. You'll have a materials list. So it's extremely cool. Let's say we wanted to find the corruption again. So I hit Control F. This one right here, that's telling us that it's the corruption static. So if we were to hover over here, let's just draw some more. Corruption static. So that's what we're looking for right here. And this is the hex color code right here. So you copy these four, and you would go to a thing that would make you like allow you to see what colors it is for whatever painting program you're using. And you can do that for any material in the game. So if you wanted to find rock static purple, so we'll type that in, rock static. Ooh, I need to put a space, don't I? Rock static purple. And then we'll find that. And then this is the hex color code right here. So it's always you ignore the first two, and something that you might run into an issue is some things are different on every level. So if we're up in the sky biome up here, it might not be the same thing. This is obviously still rock static purple, but some things will change and some things won't spawn in. So if that happens, then just keep that in mind. But let's go back down. Boom. Oh, just kidding. This is the wrong area. Go back. Oh, did I not throw a portal back to Earth up here? Well, that's a little unfortunate, and a hindsight in the wrong sense. So let's teleport there. I'll add a portal probably like right up here so that you can teleport back to 0, 0. But for now, we'll teleport. So I'm pretty sure all the portals will work, but if they don't, I use Cheat GUI to teleport through this area. And if you wanted to test in the same areas, if you wanted to just mess around with that, then by all means, you can use the portals. Each one of these is linked to a testing area. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one obviously takes you to the first testing area. But if you want to get here without using the portals, we just go to -30k and then we teleport, and that's going to put us right here. Likewise, if we put this to 30k positive, it's going to teleport us to this area, which I spent a lot more time working in, and I'm probably going to add more. And then there's test dummies, and as far as like navigating and stuff, like I said, the portal should work, but if they don't, the only major things are 30k up and 30k down. So yeah, after going over the like basics of how you can get some more artsy stuff done, let's see what all the other commands do. So I won't go over ones that I'm unfamiliar with, like record videos, save world, and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with them. You can obviously test them on your own and see what you can figure out. The ones that I tend to drift to are F8. This one turns like Fulbright on, and if you hit enter, then you'll enter into a like unkillable, like just being able to look around mode. And like I said, hitting F8 will turn off the shaders. But the thing to watch out for when hitting enter is sometimes it'll reset your character. So luckily this time when we hit enter, it dropped us back with all our wands and perks and stuff like that. Something that I also didn't address is the save 0, 0. The player file, you can replace that with the player file that I'll provide, and that one has all the like perks that you'll need to like have an enjoyable time. If you do spawn a different world, and I don't believe the more love will carry over with the player file. You'll have to just spawn in more love or stuff will attack you. What else is there? There's Control I. So if we hit Control I right here, it'll latch onto the closest entity. So Control I, and then you'll have to click with it. So let's select the moon just to make sure we don't fire the wand. So Control I, click. And then it's going to select us. So you can change all sorts of stuff. So let's say we wanted to change our scale, and this will either make us wider or thinner. So we're going to go back to 1. Okay, well, we can't go back to 1. That's all right. And then this one's going to make us taller. So there's a lot of stuff that you can mess with as far as that goes. And then every single thing that you have has a different like set of rules to mess with. And then to get out of this, obviously Control I. And then let's say we select this portal over here. So we'll select this one, Control I, click. And then I hit tab to get rid of that. And this one, the fun part to mess with is probably like down here, the emission chance, like, and like interval. So if you change this to higher, it's going to spawn less frequently. But likewise, if we change it to be less, and we're gonna actually increase this to this, and then we have this giant green beacon right here that's really neat, and you can have it interact in a whole different slew of ways. Like, let's say we wanted to increase the lifetime of the particles, we can do that, and now they're just going to like keep spreading out even further. Oh, there's so many great things you can do in here. We're actually going to turn this down quite a bit so that it doesn't lag us, but it's something beautiful you can make and just mess with. And for spawning in the portal, these I'll provide the colors and like depths for them, and you can just open them up in like Notepad plus, and you can see like, oh, this one is emitting, I think this is meteor. I think that's why I changed it to, yeah, meteor green emitted particle. And if you change it to emit real, it'll emit real particles. Ooh, it tabbed out because it didn't like that. Oh, it's probably gonna crash. No, it didn't crash. What about this one? There we go. And so let's draw something under it. Oh, grab our moon back. Heck. But it makes real particles now, so you can just have something that's emitting real particles. Obviously, there's some things that'll just like mess it up, but that's for you to discover and find out. All right. So what else do we got? We got Control U. We already went over that. Pauses it. Enter spawns. Arrows to move. Another thing with enter, if you do use this one, you can use shift to zoom faster, control to zoom slower, and just normal. So that's something you can use. But like I said, I try and veer away from using this one because it'll delete your character, and that's not great. You can save entities. So I haven't really messed with that either, but it's the same thing as the wand. If you hit Control U, it saves, or sorry, Shift U, it saves the wand, and Control S for saving entities. So if we wanted to save our character, it's a little weird. Like, you'd obviously have to go in and change your player .xml to the new one to like get the player back, but yeah, that's something you can do. Let's scroll down, and then H creates a huge explosion. Let's see if we can create a little blast shield for ourselves. I think this is still going to destroy everything, but we'll hit H. There we go. It actually didn't destroy everything. It got pretty close to it, but that's a good way of clearing. P creates a peasant, but it doesn't work right now. Shift P. So I tend to veer away from these test wands. I know that they're like really good. The stats are good. And sorry, here, let me clear up some of this stuff so that you can actually see what's going on. So the max mana is 900, and the mana recharge is 900, or sorry, 90,000. And cast and recharge, like, it's a really good wand. But the thing is, sometimes when you're trying to like do testing on them, they don't work like other wands in Noita. The starting wands and this wand are like, they just have strange interactions. So if you're trying to test something, I would definitely spawn in a different wand, either with Cheat GUI or with the wands that are pre-built that I'll provide. But that's something to keep in mind. But if you just want a wand real quick to clear something, then by all means you can do that. Let's see, what else is there? We're going to spawn a barrel. Sure, why not? Y, boop. And you can just keep spamming it, keep spamming barrels. M spawns a vegetation sprite. So you can use this to spawn in like a picture of something. And sometimes it'll just snag onto it. Let's see if we can actually get one. We'll do something like our little heart container right here. So that's after hitting M, and then after it like suffocates or gets deleted, then it'll go away. But something neat to mess with. Ragdoll I haven't messed with, so I'm not too familiar with. T we went over. Z loads a dog, mean dog. You can just keep spawning dogs. And then Shift Z spawns a shotgunner. Since we have more love, nothing's gonna really be fighting each other except for worms, so we'll spawn in a worm. And I'm pretty sure if you hit Shift X, no, Control X, just kidding, never mind. It only spawns one type of worm. This is the only worm we get. I thought there was something else that you could do, but I guess not. Material picker, that's how I didn't go over this one, so that's good that we're seeing it now. So if we hit comma, it'll select that material. If you don't have debug activated, it won't select the material. So I hit comma over here, and then I turned it back on. It's still going to be the same thing that we left off on. And same with changing the size of the brush. If we hit Shift 9, it's going to change the size of it. And a mistake that I make is I turn this off and then I go like, oh, I need to do a finer detail thing. I hit Shift 3 and then I turn this back on, and it's still the size of 9. So now if I hit Shift 3, it's going to be smaller. So something to keep in mind when you're trying to draw and it messes you up. We'll get rid of all this stuff. Let's see. Shift K. I'm not entirely sure what K and Shift K do. I need to mess more with them. Now that I have my knowledge with the like Wang files, or like how the colors work, I'll definitely figure out more about those two. But for now, I don't know that much about them. And J is actually pretty neat. So let's turn this off for a second. Let's grab something. Ooh, you know what? Here, we'll go to dynamic. So you can also select the brush size up here, but we want something that's dynamic, and we'll say we want a solid. So let's see. Let's just grab crystal. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is pause it with Control U, and then make sure our brush is pretty big. I hit Shift 0, spawn that in, and then I'm going to hit J. And so I'm going to unpause. And so right now, it has a joint right in the center where I spawned it. So it's pretty cool. And you can definitely do a lot of just random stuff with it. Let's switch to a wand and let's see if we can get this moving real quick by kicking it. We probably have to get more never skip leg days, but you can do something really neat like this. So that's fun. Let's see what else there is. And you have to scroll down with the mouse wheel. It's a little bit inconvenient, but I mean, that's all right. I'm used to and trying to figure stuff out like this. Yep, Shift U saves current player item. B will show like hitbox, and it's pretty neat. Or sorry, it shows like material like hitbox. You can obviously see our joint is right there, and then our object is right here. We're gonna turn that off for a second, and then V, like makes it render less. I'm not entirely sure what V does either. And then there is N, which is hitboxes. So you can see where your hitboxes are and how that works. I assume this hitbox is for your foot. But yeah, it's super cool. We'll also turn that one off. And then L is for weather. So I am using Bamlam's weather thing, and I highly recommend it for if you are going to use my map, because currently there's a bug where my save file like will just randomly have snowfall, and it's extremely obnoxious, and Bamlam was nice enough to make a mod that will remove it and set the time to a designated time and remove fog. So it's extremely nice. But if you don't, you can change like the time, the how much time is going by. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can change with weather, but that's for you to mess with. If you hit Control L, it'll bring up even more stuff. So that's something that you have at your arsenal. And then likewise, to get rid of this, Control I. And then we have profilers that I haven't messed with either. So that pretty much goes over everything in there. But for now, let's hop into our little area down below, Apocrypha. Let's get our tentatail out. Oh, I may have made a poor life decision. Something that I didn't remember is that when we teleport down here, it's going to actually be hitting us. Oh, it actually didn't hit us this time. Okay, that's good. We'll get out another tentatail. So to get here, like I said, this is 30K. And then there's test dummy over here. There's just some random stuff over here to look at, mess with. And down here is the portal to the testing area. So we'll hop in here. Whoa! Okay, that's just normal. This wand won't be here. It's it's a wand that I was using to figure out if ducks can become infinite, and they can. It's pretty cool. And with these like light portals here, they won't be here either. They were just spawned in so I could see if I could like light up the area a bit, make it a little bit nicer looking. I still haven't decided if I want to use them yet, so there's that. For all the testing areas, they go in increments of 1,000. So we'll go to 30K, and then we'll go to the left. Sorry, down here it's 32K. So 32K, and then the very first portal is negative 2,000. So over here, this is the first testing area, and then you can use the portals to go to the right and keep doing that. And if you want to go back to the previous one, you can just hop in here. Another thing you can do is, since I will be providing the files, is hit Control U and then sorry, we're just gonna hit T, and then you can open up my little test map, and we'll tab back in, and we can just pop that right in here. Boop. Hit Control U again, and then we have a whole new testing area. So let's say we mess this up. We're spawning in our tail, and then wait for it to spawn. And then let's just say, oh no, it destroyed everything. Oh, this frickin' tail. And then we can hit T, spawn it in, and then bada bing, bada boom, we got a new testing area. Oh, and we have another tail. Another thing that I like to use is F12. That's how I got that to remove all the codes and stuff. It does keep it locked in right here. So it's a little inconvenient, but you can definitely just have fun like getting good pictures and using them for thumbnails. Oh, it's incredibly useful. These two colors look extremely nice with each other as well. And another thing, there's just so much you can do in the dev world, and trying to jam pack it into one video is a little bit difficult, but well, hopefully we get the point across that there's a lot of stuff you can mess with and figure out on your own, just with the help of this video. But what I was actually looking for is F7. So F7, you can turn on like player never dies, freeze AI, turn off GUI, minimize it. Actually, does that work with showing spells? Nope, it still doesn't show all the spells. That's okay though. You can turn a lot of stuff on, and then if you hit Shift F7, it'll pull up this. And this one, you can actually see like what the colors are for everything. If we turn on Draw Wang Colors, and then it'll show you like, oh, this is what color it is. This is what color. Unless you want to like take a picture of it, I would suggest turning on F8 if you're gonna do that. But yeah, you can see how that works, and yeah. Also, this is a side effect if you spawn in another test area and it's not overlapping exactly. It'll have little overlapping stuff that you can erase. But all right, well, let's turn this off and close this with Control I. I always have to remind that because I always forget. But hopefully you learned something, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening, noon, and night. And I can't wait to see what everyone creates. So yeah, see you in the next video. Goodbye.